The scene was anything but peaceful. The market was full of life, but also chaos. People arguing, vendors shouting their offers, and the constant sound of clinking coins. It was a place where you could cut the tension with a knife. Imagine the bustling courtyard of the temple in Jerusalem, a sacred place, but at that moment it looked more like a market than a sanctuary. People moved back and forth, and the noise was deafening. Pilgrims surrounded the merchants, their voices a cacophony of bargaining and bleating animals. The vendors tried to attract buyers, and the animals added an extra level of confusion and noise. The air was thick with the smell of incense and despair. The smoke from the incense burners mixed with the dust from the ground, creating an almost unbreathable atmosphere. And then Jesus arrived. But this wasn't the gentle Jesus we often imagine. This was a man on a mission, with fierce determination in his eyes. He walked with purpose, and his presence could not be ignored. This Jesus, filled with righteous anger, drove out the money changers, overturned their tables, and scattered their coins. The coins rolled across the floor, and the money changers were stunned, not knowing how to react to this display of divine fury. He challenged the religious authorities, accusing them of turning his Father's house of prayer into a den of thieves. His words echoed in the air, leaving everyone present in a state of shock and reflection. This dramatic event, recounted in the four Gospels, marks Holy Monday. It's a powerful reminder that faith isn't always comfortable or easy. It's a day that disrupts our comfortable assumptions about faith and forces us to confront a surprising truth. Sometimes, true transformation requires demolition. It reminds us that real change can be disruptive and challenging, but it's necessary for spiritual growth. We often focus on the physical act of Jesus cleansing the temple. But the true meaning of Holy Monday goes far beyond a physical cleaning. It's about the spiritual cleansing that each of us must experience. Just as the temple had been filled with greed and corruption, our hearts can be filled with sin, ego, and empty rituals. We go through the motions of faith, but our souls remain distant from God. The cleansing of the temple is a powerful metaphor for the inner transformation we need. It's a call to examine our own lives and ask ourselves, what needs to be cleansed from my heart? What is hindering my relationship with God? Jesus condemned the religious leaders for reducing faith to a set of empty rituals. They meticulously followed the letter of the law while neglecting the spirit. Their hearts were far from God, even as they meticulously performed their religious duties. How easy it is for us to fall into the same trap. We can focus so much on outward appearances, attending services, reciting prayers, that we neglect the inner work of the heart. We forget that true faith is not about routine actions, but about a vibrant, life-giving relationship with God. We all have our own inner temples, the sacred spaces of our hearts. But how often do we allow these spaces to be filled with clutter and chaos? We harbor resentment. We cling to past hurts, and we nurture secret sins. We build walls of pride and vanity, hiding our true selves from God and from others. Holy Monday reminds us that we cannot experience true spiritual renewal without confronting the inner mess. It's time to face our inner chaos, to acknowledge the darkness we try so hard to hide. Only then can we begin the process of cleansing and renewal. The death of the ego, a painful yet necessary sacrifice. This is where the true challenge of Holy Monday lies. It's not just a day of reflection, but a day of action and transformation. Jesus' actions in the temple weren't just about cleaning, they were about demolition. He wasn't just sweeping away the dust, but tearing down the structures that no longer served a purpose. He came to tear down the idols we create, the ones that prevent us from seeing the truth. The false gods of the ego, which make us believe that we are self-sufficient and that we don't need anyone else. Pride and self-reliance. These are the true enemies that Jesus came to confront. Jesus didn't come to decorate your life, to make it superficially prettier, but to demolish your idols, to destroy everything that separates you from the true essence of life. He wants to change our carefully constructed lives, those lives that we have built on false foundations, to expose the emptiness of a life lived for ourselves. This demolition process, this death of the ego, is painful. It requires humility, honesty, and deep introspection, and the willingness to let go of control, to let go of what we think defines us. But it's the only path to true resurrection. Only by letting go can we find something greater. Dying to self hurts more than the cross because it's a constant process, a daily struggle. But it's the only route to resurrection. Only through this sacrifice can we find true freedom and peace. Identifying the idols. What needs to be torn down? So, what are the idols that clutter your temple? What needs to be demolished in your life? Is it the incessant pursuit of wealth and possessions? Is it the need for approval and validation from others? Is it the bitterness you cling to? The lack of forgiveness that poisons your heart? Maybe it's the comfortable lies you tell yourself, the justifications for your sin. Or maybe it's the fear that paralyzes you, the doubt that whispers that you're not good enough. Whatever it is, name it. Bring it to light. Embracing transformation. Stepping into a new life. The demolition process, though painful, is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of something new, something beautiful. When we allow Jesus to cleanse our temples, to tear down the idols that bind us, he fills the empty spaces with his love, grace, and mercy. He rebuilds our lives on a foundation of truth and righteousness. He gives us new hearts, filled with compassion, forgiveness, and a passion for his purposes. This is the transformation that awaits us, but first we must be willing to embrace the demolition. A call to radical change. Write it down, mean it, live it. This Holy Monday, I challenge you to take a bold step. It's not just another day. It's an opportunity to transform your life. Take a piece of paper and write these words, I want to die. Don't be scared by the rawness of these words. Don't just write them, feel them. Let them penetrate deep within your being. Feel them with every fiber of your being. Allow each word to resonate in your heart and mind. Die to your ego, to your pride, to your need for control. Free yourself from the chains that bind you. Die to the sin that so easily entangles you. Leave behind the habits that destroy you. Die to the empty rituals that have replaced true faith. Seek a genuine connection with the divine. This is a call to radical change, to complete surrender. Don't settle for less. It won't be easy, but I promise you, the reward is worth it. Transformation is an arduous but rewarding process. When you die to yourself, you are resurrected with Christ, transformed and renewed. You become a new creation. This is the promise of Holy Monday, the promise of a new beginning, a dawn of hope and renewal.